guys, and welcome back to Marvel Hub. This is the Gaming Revolution here, and welcome back to an all-new Spider-Man Far From Home video. Now, if you guys are unaware, tonight, apparently the embargo lifts for people who have been to early screenings of Spider-Man Far From Home, and they'll be able to talk about it on social media. So make sure you are subscribing to the channel, because we're going to be covering all of the leaks on the channel. So I know we haven't been staying as up to date lately, because to be fair, there's not been that much news going on. A lot of other Marvel channels and stuff like that just keep on posting fake videos and fake information about nothing that even makes sense. I mean, come on, what the hell is this? But today we're going to be throwing it back to a popular series that we did before Avengers Endgame. I know the channel slowed down a lot, but we used to do a series where we would go over leaks from people claiming that they had seen the movie already, as it is in quotation marks in the title, and we would talk about how it's just completely fake. So today we have a Spider-Man Far From Home plot leak that is coming from 4chan. I will leave a link to the original post on the Marvel Spoilers Reddit down in this video's description if you want to go ahead and check it out. But this is completely fake, that's the first thing I want to say. However, if you want to stick through this video and listen to it all for yourself, obviously there's been lots of real leaks on 4chan before, but the thing is with these leaks is that anyone can just create this. As I was saying, we're going to be getting legitimate leaks tonight that we're going to be covering here on the channel, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But nevertheless, let's go through this leak. So, it starts off by saying that the movie begins immediately after Endgame. You then see the Sony/Columbia pictures, then a quick montage of news clips covering Tony Stark's death and people returning from the snap. People in New York City are confused and somewhat in panic due to everyone suddenly coming back. Peter is crying in his bedroom. Aunt May comes in and has a talk with him and manages to lift his spirits somewhat. Peter puts on the Iron Spider suit and begins swinging around. You then see the Stanley Marvel intro from Captain Marvel that is apparently returning. Unfortunately, Stan was unable to film a cameo before his passing. This is already showing that this leak is fake, because ages ago Kevin Feige said that they did film a scene with Stan Lee before his passing. However, then the Russo brothers came out and said that his last cameo would be within Endgame, so they have definitely filmed a cameo. However, I think it has been scrapped for Spider-Man Far From Home. I don't know why. Maybe his cameo was just not good enough because he was just not in the right state of mind, obviously, as he was deteriorating. It's quite sad, to be honest, but we know that he did film a cameo. We just don't know whether it's going to be within the movie, because the Russo brothers are saying that it's not. But they obviously have no part in Far From Home, so they could be incorrect about that. It goes on to say, we see Mysterio in a room with several diagrams on his wall. He seems to be trying to figure out how to get back to his dimension. He decides to contact Nick Fury. Spider-Man is thanked for being a hero. A restaurant is then attacked by generic burglars. Peter swings into action. It then cues to a action sequence in the trailer that ends with Spider-Man being asked if he's going to be the next Iron Man. Peter has decided to go on a school field trip to try and relieve his PTSD. Aunt May asks Peter to pack his suit up. He nearly breaks down at the sight of his original suit and decides he will not be Spider-Man on the trip. Peter leaves to the airport. There he sees that May put the suit in his suitcase. Peter and his friends go to Venice. Everything is going well until Nick Fury shows up to recruit Peter. Nick Fury introduces Peter to Mysterio. It's explained he's been in this dimension for 5 years since the initial Thanos snap. Despite Nick and Mary Hill practically begging Peter to join them, he tells them to get lost and leaves. The next day, Peter is having fun with his friends until the first elemental monster, Water, shows up and attacks civilians. Peter swings into action without his suit. He gets his ass kicked. Mysterio shows up to save the day and takes the monster out. Peter agrees to join him and Nick Fury. Happy Hogan travels to Venice to investigate what's happening with Peter and Nick Fury after a discussion with Fury and Hill. Happy decides to help. He has a discussion with Peter on one of Stark's jets. Peter is upset about Tony again. Happy says that Tony wouldn't have made the ultimate sacrifice if Peter wasn't there to carry on his legacy. Peter uses the tech to build his own Spider-Man suit. Peter and his friends then travel to Prague. Fury gives Peter the shield stealth suit. That night, Prague is attacked by the second elemental, Fire. Peter can't fight it and is nearly killed. Mysterio tries to take it down, but it runs away and wreaks havoc throughout the city. The city is evacuated, Peter and his friends included. The next location is London. Everything goes smoothly for a day until the third elemental, Lava, shows up and towers over the bridge Peter's friends are on. Mysterio tries to fight it, but it is overpowered and knocked into the ocean. They manage to get off the bridge just before it's destroyed. An electrical storm begins and Peter files through it. He causes water to splash at the lava elemental and subdues it. Mysterio disappears, leaving Peter and Fury to try and eliminate the the threat alone. Peter, Fury and Happy are sitting in Fury's office. Goose the cat then has a quick cameo. Aunt May is worried sick about Peter and has tried several times to contact him and has failed. Mysterio suddenly shows up in her apartment. The last elemental, Sand, attacks New York. Peter, Fury, Happy and Peter's friends return. Peter gets back into the Iron Spider suit he had left it in New York and successfully takes down the Sand elemental. Peter gets a phone call from Mysterio. He is told to go to the top of the former Avengers Tower, which is vacant for now. Mysterio is holding Aunt May hostage. Mysterio reveals that he created the elementals and that they are all alive. Iron Spider and Mysterio duke it out at the top of the tower, while the Sand elemental resembles itself and all of the other elementals enter New York. Fury, Happy and the police are working hard to evacuate as much of the city as they can. Fury decides it's a critical emergency and pages Carol Danvers. More on that later. Iron Spider is getting his ass beaten by Mysterio. He feels that Thanos was right and releases the elementals purposefully to try and cause another apocalyptic disaster. Doctor Strange then enters and has a duel with Mysterio. Peter figures out that he has to take down the elementals by finding their weakness. Now this is one of the big red flags that just points that this is fake. No way are they possibly going to have Doctor Strange within this movie. I mean, it's possible, but it just seems so unlikely. Let me know in the comment section down below, do you think this is real? Because this honestly seems fake to me. Everyone on Reddit seems to think that it's fake too. It doesn't seem accurate whatsoever at all, but you can let me know your thoughts as I was saying. So it goes on to say, while Strange and Mysterio are fighting, Iron Spider grabs some unused Stark grenades that release mini seismic charges and bombs out the Sand and Water elementals. He drops the remaining grenades in water to create a gigantic splash which takes down fire and lava. Mysterio manages to knock out Strange and escape with Aunt May. Back at his underground home in upstate New York, Mysterio creates one giant elemental that combines all of the abilities of the others. Strange tells Iron Spider to stay back and goes to confront Mysterio by himself. The new elemental rises and attacks Strange while Mysterio attempts to use his own quantum tunnel to open a dimensional portal. Iron Spider goes against Strange's wishes and involves himself in the battle to rescue Aunt May. Iron Spider uses his last grenades to bomb the elemental. He also saves Aunt May. Strange goes after Mysterio. They have one last fight. Mysterio jumps into the dimensional portal and returns to his own dimension. Strange then closes the portal. The fight has ended. While Mysterio has escaped, the dimension is now safe. Peter is determined to do whatever he can to carry on Stark's legacy. The world is slowly but surely recovering from Thanos' effect. Peter has returned from a day out of school when he sees some trouble in paradise. He swings out in the Iron Spider suit to fight crime. Mid-credit scene is Adrian Toomes being pulled out of his jail cell by a mysterious man. The man asks him to be a part of his group called the Sinister Six. The man reveals himself to be Norman Osborn. We also learn that the Avengers Tower is becoming Oscorp Tower. There is then apparently a post-credit scene with Carol Danvers entering Fury's office and asking him, "What did I miss?" And then it finishes. Again, this is weird because I guess that would be an allusion to Captain Marvel 2, but there were past leaks that were saying that Captain Marvel 2 is apparently going to be set before Endgame and is going to be explaining all the stuff that she did out of world during that time while she was gone. And also there's tons of stuff within this leak that contradict leaks that we already have, such as obviously him having the English spider suit and stuff like that. It just doesn't make sense, the British spider suit. So let me know what you think of all this down in the comment section down below. I personally think it's fake, but I thought it was worth going through and debunking everything and giving my thoughts on it, because obviously there's always going to be people out there that fall for this kind of stuff. But anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for latest and greatest Marvel news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching and bye.
Whoa, cool.
What is that?
I don't know.
What are you gonna do?
I left my suit in the hotel room.
Why?
Because I'm on vacation, Ned. Everyone's gonna see my face. Just get them out of here.
Go.
Just go. No, you don't. You okay?